And coming to you live from an old woman's house on a hill where the prodigal son is currently sleeping, and Kristen's allergic to kitties. It's sports allegedly. I haven't changed the camera either.
Welcome everyone to this episode of Sports Allegedly on this day, September.
I got a lot to remember of it. Shh.
On this September day, 29th, 2023. Thanks for joining us. Creston to my right, Sean across the way. Well, you know, we just came back from an exhilarating high school football game. Chelsea Dragons pulled out.
A team that was not supposed to win a game finally started passing like they should have, and
pulled out a nice. I like the 3-man set at the end, towards the end of the game.
I have to say that it is because Zach Weist is finally on the field.
Dax Weist.
Dax Weist.
Zach.
One of the Weist.
I call him the same, but yes, congratulations, Dax and his teammates. They had a good win tonight, and it was. I got
tried to lose it. I
got made fun of for jumping up and down when they scored that touchdown at the end from the girls behind us. They were like, "Cute jump." I was playing mini cheerleader over there, but anyway.
Well, you're not really a mini cheerleader. You're more of an extra maxi cheerleader.
I meant it wasn't like a small cheerleader. I meant like a different whatever. Let's move on. Let's talk about something that pissed me off the most last weekend.
Okay.
The Dallas Cowboys.
We're going to jump right into the NFL?
We're going to start right in the NFL because, listen, I thought about it, and last week I opened with the Cowboys because I drank that Kool-Aid. I lapped it up.
I didn't.
I lapped it up, and I thought, this could be their year.
It's not.
I brought up that they have a great defense, but their offense was lacking.
Well, we've been saying that for years.
And I think that it switched this last week. I think the defense went downhill and the offense.
No, the defense just played a normal, every other defense, like every other team in the league plays their defense. And the offense still couldn't score in the red zone like they haven't all year. We're still throwing picks with Dak. It's still just horrible decision making.
Did he throw picks?
Yes.
I pulled up all college before because I thought we were going to.
Yeah, pull up the box score in that game. Well, no, and honestly, what killed them, and I know where Sean's coming from on the defense because the Cardinals and Josh Dobbs come right out.
Congratulations, Josh Dobbs.
Boom. I mean, they're scoring points left and right.
Journeyman quarterback.
and looks good doing it. I mean, this was the team that everyone picked, the Cardinals, to be the last place team to have.
Yeah, they were supposed
to have two number one picks right in the top 5.
I think we had them picked under the Bears.
Well, yeah, I had the Bears picked second. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, so, and then you had the Cardinals, who we thought would be that number 1 pick, and then they've got Houston's pick, and we thought that'd be 2 or 3. Both teams are surprising. C.J. Stroud for Houston, looking better than what I anticipated him. They had a good win last week. Cardinals beat the Cowboys, but you think about it, but Sean's right. Beginning of the game, Dobbs and the Cardinals run up and down on them early in the game, and then you have
go back up just a little bit
because halftime.
I'm sorry.
What?
Well, halftime.
I was just wanting to see the Dobbs's.
That's right here.
So 20. Bring it down just.
Bring it down. Yeah, there you go.
My God, you can read it.
21. So it was
17 of 21, 189 yards, averaging 9 yards.
He played a pretty damn good game. I mean,
he
played an efficient game.
Very efficient, very complete
and
game.
Didn't make mistakes. And then you look at Dak. He had 25 of 40, 249, which his average. The yards were better than Dobbs, but he had an interception and did have 1 touchdown. Quarterback rating is 78. But Dobbs was consistent. You know, Pollard ran the ball. But you look at Dobbs, and that's another thing that we didn't give Dobbs a lot of credit for. He 55 yards rushing in the game. So average 7.4 carries for the Cardinals. Let's go down a little bit, though, Sean, as you move down. Let's look at the receiving was pretty good. But
Hollywood Brown had a touchdown.
Go back down to the defense. That was the thing I talked about.
Well, here's the deal.
It was 21 to 10 at half. Cardinals up. And the Cardinals kind of had that game, I mean, right out of the gate. And even Destiny was like, God, big Cowboys fan was like, we're going to blow this. And I was like, well, surely not. Just give it time. It eerily reminded me of the the Cardinals and Giants the week before. I think they went up, 14 or 21 to nothing against the Giants. Giants came back, ended up winning late or even overtime. I don't remember, that game was so sloppy. But I kind of thought that Dallas would come back.
Well,
And-
the difference this past week versus the other weeks is their defense didn't score 14 or 21 points like they have every other week. I mean,
The
that's
defense not scoring, you're not that Dallas team that we've been watching.
yeah. Because
Well, they have to.
half the points that they've got this year has come from their defense. If the defense doesn't score, their offense is inept. They can't do it.
Well, and so they went down red zone numerous times, didn't score, got some field goals.
And that was a
red zone
turnover free.
touchdowns.
That was a turnover free game for the Cardinals.
Yeah, no
No
turnovers for them.
interceptions, no fumbles.
Good. And what it was just they kind of played good defense, had efficient offense towards the end of the game. I think, Sean, if you look back, they scored a late touchdown to kind of to seal that, and it was close. So, I mean, you get after the third quarter, it's 13-21, and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, here we go. Dallas going to go down, drive, stall, had a turnover, stall. And it's
Well,
like, so now...
Didn't they start off with a safety? Wasn't that the beginning of the game?
I didn't get to catch the beginning, and you might be right because of the 9. But my whole point was obviously the inefficiency of the red zone offense. Obviously that was number one. But then you saw the defense not have the turnovers like it was. But in reality, you've got a team that's not playing with their starting quarterback in Arizona that continues to look better than we all thought, played efficient ball, and every time that the Cowboys would try to answer, Cardinals would go down, either score a field goal or they'd make a stop.
No, they failed the kick.
Oh,
They
gotcha.
go for 2.
Gotcha. So, no, I mean, I bought into it.
Yeah, 2-point conversion fail.
I bought into it, and
You did. You really did. And
did.
it was very surprising that you bought into it that early in the season.
Yeah, I did. And so, let's
do
talk
this
about
every
who I'm
year.
buying into now.
Oh,
And
we're
actually,
going to the blowout.
I've only bought into the quarterback, but yes, now this could be, and we'll know after this week. I think a little bit. We might not know everything, but we're going to know something about the Dolphins. And I
have to say that exact same thing would have happened, probably worse if they had played the Bears.
No, I don't think so.
I do.
don't.
That would have been even worse. Their defense would have had more turnovers. This was strictly an offensive game.
No, they had some turnovers. They had that one game, turnover.
What I mean is Russell Wilson and
I don't remember the one play. There was a sequence.
Russell and Tua played almost the exact same game.
Well, pull that up because I think you're a little off.
I think you're a little off, too.
Because I think the Mostert had a fumble.
And you got to remember, Tua come out early. I mean, he didn't play the whole game.
See, I didn't know that because I didn't watch it.
Well, yeah, they brought the second team was kicking their ass.
And yeah, the second
I
team
think
scored
third
2 or
team-
3
I think third
touchdowns.
team
I
scored
think
on.
maybe, yeah.
Hell yeah, that just proves my point.
I know.
No.
No, it just
But
proves how
listen,
bad.
No, what I've been talking for Tua for I don't know years, and it's finally I mentioned last year that Tua had MVP numbers before his injury. He's now got MVP
Look,
numbers.
They were pretty
Yeah.
much the same.
They've got MVP
Except
numbers.
he didn't take a sack.
MVP numbers this year. He is the MVP right now. Tua is,
Yeah.
no doubt. There's no one else that could compare. Whatever we want to talk about, but he is the leader in the clubhouse. Now, what they have done, obviously, is their defense. They need to continue to play better. We're going to see it the Bills this week. They're a +3, so they're dogs this week against the Buffalo Bills, who the Buffalo Bills quietly are playing really good football. Even though after that week one
week,
we
loss, we sat
and
there
that's
and
how
watched.
those slow starts a lot of these teams have, and
But didn't you think that game, though, the Jets, everything just went in their direction? I mean, it was just, everything went wrong for the Bills, and everything just kind of didn't go real right, obviously, with the Rodgers injury, but, I mean, the Bills couldn't get anything going. They've kind of kept that up. But the Dolphins, I mean, I like it. I hope that their defense can keep up. And Jalen Waddle didn't even play in this game, so he's supposedly cleared from concussion protocol.
yeah, because Waddle, he was injured. He had his.
Yeah, see, Mike White, he 2 for
Sean,
2,
what time? And I think
67 yards and a touchdown.
And the most unfortunate thing about this whole thing, though, is if you look back up the schedule, Sean, move up to the NFL schedule. I think that's an early game. Yeah, it's a 12. That's a noon kickoff for the best game on, in my opinion, the best game on the schedule this week will be the Dolphins.
Something about they
at
couldn't
Buffalo.
flex this week.
They can't. You got to get into a while. I think it's like week 8 to 10 before you start
Yeah, I think
flexing.
once you get the bye week started is when you
It's
can start
8 to
flexing.
10. It's week 8 to 10 or 10 to 12 or something. Yeah, there's a bunch of rules. Not going to go over them
Because
but every network's got some different flexes with NFL. That comes to the prime. They can start to flex later, and then you get the Sunday night games and stuff like that. No, they couldn't flex this in, obviously, but pull up, Sean, as you go across that scoreboard. Let's see what we've got as far as the night games. Now, one team I want to talk a little bit about that's impressed me is the Browns. I know we're not all fans of Deshaun Watson, even though I said he used to play good. Their defense, Jim Schwartz, give him credit, new defensive coordinator. That guy has always been a good coordinator. Wasn't a great head coach when he was at Detroit.
He ruined Chad Johnson.
But you can tell that team statistically leads most of the categories in the NFL. And they're right there. Overall defense, I think, Sean, we looked at 49ers was number 1 still in the overall defense. And the Browns were right there at number 2. So a little bit of a surprise there.
Denver and Chicago were way down at the bottom.
A little bit of surprise.
Really? You don't say, Shawty.
I just have to say.
Then this week.
But for all the Bears fans out there, the Bears cast.
This week we're going to watch. Now, you talk about Dallas. Let's move back to Dallas a little bit as we preview. I mean, we've already talked about what shit play they had last week. Let's talk about this week. Interesting game they have with the Patriots.
The Patriots has been in both the losses. They have been there right at the end with a chance to win. I could see Dallas losing this one. I really could.
Well, I like Patriots defense. I mean, obviously, if you got Belichick, he's always a defensive-minded guy. There's been some chatter about Mac Jones. Have you read any of this about the negativity coming out? There's a lot of bitching about him internally in the organization. I don't know what's going on. Nobody really knows. Rumors, obviously.
Not
allegedly,
really
a lot of rumors going on. But their offense has been stagnant as far as scoring.
It has.
So, they beat the Jets, I think, 15 to 10.
Plus, you're supposed to have Ezekiel Elliott, and Ezekiel Elliott's still supposed to be a premier runner.
Well, hell,
allegedly to certain people.
But that was some of the talk they had about Dallas last week in the red zone that they thought. I mean, you heard the chatter. You've seen it on Twitter or Exter. Is that they missed Zeke Jones or Elliott. I mean, they missed Zeke Elliott in those red zone conditions. Let me.
I don't know what you're saying right now. Zeke Jones, Elliott.
Zeke Jones.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, Elliott.
There we go.
I believe Zeke Jones was a blues artist.
Oh, okay. No, Ezekiel Elliott. Sorry, yes. There was chatter that they'd missed him, and that was the problem in the red zone. And I thought, well, he was kind of a bruiser back. Get 1 to 3 yards, wear down the defense, and then you throw it. But I don't really think that was the issue. Now, Dallas, they've got Pollard. I think they need to do something else in the running. They need that.
Well, do you notice that? I noticed this a lot last week when I was watching.
Because they ain't playing Deuce much, are they?
Well, what's the other running back's name that they got right now besides Deuce and Pollard? Anyway,
I haven't watched.
Pollard would get down, bust a good run, get 10, 12, 15, 20 yards, and get him down in the red zone. And then they'd give him the ball again the very next play, and he'd get him down inside the 10. And then they'd have to pull him out and rest him because he had 2 runs to get him there. And then they would put in 34, the running back.
Box score, Sean.
Davis.
Was it
What do you mean
Davis?
by the box score?
Yes.
Well, I was just going to see because I've heard
they would put
him,
they would put him in when they got down
the
inside, and he's not as good. I mean, I'm sorry.
Deuce Vaughn's running third. Rico Donald is number 2.
Yeah, that's who.
Okay, maybe that's who it is.
Yeah, so I didn't see his stats, and I like I said, I didn't get to watch the game. I listened to a lot on the radio, but I mean, it's like the inexperience of Dak continues in pressure situations. Continues to shine, and it's not inexperience. Maybe it's just something he's never going to get. I don't know.
I've already said this. Until they get rid of him,
it's just like Justin Fields. He can't read a field.
Yeah, but we talk about that as far as NFL goes, and quarterback is the main position. We all know that.
Yes.
It's a starting point.
It's the highest paid position.
It's the starting point of your offense.
Yeah. So but there's a lot of other teams that would take Dak over what they've got,
and they would still be in the same situation.
What you're saying is average.
Yeah.
Just average.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, there you are, ladies and gentlemen. Dallas Cowboys just average.
I've said it for I've said that for the last 2 or 3 years that Dak is just.
Yeah, but you also hate Dylan Gabriel, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But anyway,
I don't hate him. I think he's average. Dak.
I
think he's average.
Somebody told me tonight he'd rather have Cam Rising back there.
Yeah, Cam Rising was looking at OU. We'd be better off with him. Well, if he was healthy than Gabriel. Just going to say.
Well, do you want to talk about the Indianapolis upset?
Sure. Yeah. Without. I was going to say with
Anthony Richardson.
Is it with Minshew or without Richardson? I mean, what makes that better? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Gardner Minshew screwed up.
You spit
Well,
that.
he did get spun.
He
did get spun around. Trying to find that.
Colts are probably another team that's a little more talented than we thought.
Yeah. I think we picked them last, didn't we?
And I mean, just as overall in a general team aspect, I mean, we were going top 5 to 7. Top 5 to 7.
Oh, Texans. We still have Texans and Colts.
Yeah,
I took Colts last.
Yeah, you did.
And
even the Texans aren't looking that bad.
No, I really think that I'm probably going to look the best out of that because the Titans and Creston the Titans. They
have
look
the same
worst.
picks. I love it.
Well,
I'm going to look the best out of that. We got the same picks.
And Creston. I said and Creston.
I looked at and Creston.
I read it wrong. But no, I think the Titans might be the worst in that division right now. And I don't think they should. I think they have one of the best coaches in the NFL, and they have one of the best front defense lines in the NFL. It's just their quarterback, like you said, is below average. That's a team right there that would take Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a handful of teams.
Yeah.
Dak is.
Colts beat the Ravens, which are supposed to be the number 1 North team. Well, one of the top North team, AFC North, and then you've got the Texans beating the Jags, which everybody pretty much had the Jags winning the South.
Okay, but here's
really
the deal.
hurt Creston's fantasy.
It did. Surfer Boy has not looked good the last couple of games.
I can't say that I've called that, but wait, I have.
You have called that.
Yes,
I did too.
Thank you.
I don't
still
think
love
he's.
Surfer Boy.
I don't.
I don't think he's that
You
good
love
either.
Surfer Boy.
I just don't think he's that good.
He just had a good run last year towards the end of the season.
I mean, let me back up. Let me bring that back. I'm not going to say I don't think he's that good.
I can't reverse this. This is live.
And it's kind of the same about Hurts.
Reversing it doesn't.
I don't think that you all think that I say he's not that good.
You don't like him, and you said that numerous times.
I just don't think.
You keep Hurts' name out of your mouth.
I just think that I don't.
And
think
Brock
that
Purdy.
Some of these quarterbacks that get to this top pedestal that everyone is putting them on just ain't that great overall. Their career is
You
not.
think
going,
they're put there too soon?
I think a little bit of that is yes.
I think Lawrence was put there too soon.
And pressure for Trevor, first pick.
Everybody's got.
Yeah, but I don't
everybody's
think
got that
Hurts is
pressure.
there.
And then Urban Meyer was his coach, so when he looked like shit, everyone was like, well, it's Urban. And then
So you go through one good season, and then all of a sudden you're elevated up. You're getting these big contracts, and
But
they
I still
sit there
haven't seen
and
Hurts.
they expect you to be doing the same the next
he's
season.
impressed me. I've already said this.
They expect you to do the next season, and right now Jalen Hurts is the only one that's recently been put on that pedestal that's still producing.
Yeah, until he starts.
Mahomes, too, I would say.
No, but we're talking about
just recent
success.
Yes, Hurts
not
had
continue.
Hurts
Mahomes
had one good
continued
year
success.
at the Eagles. Yes.
Well, he's having a pretty good year right now. I mean,
you think they're as good as they look as good this year as they did last year?
I do with that run game. That run game is.
I don't know if they look as good.
That run game has opened him up to be able to do a lot of different shit.
He's not running the ball as much. Yeah, he's not running the ball as much.
They got Swift, obviously.
Yeah,
for a nickel.
He's not having to. He doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. He's getting to sit in the pocket, and he does not make bad passes. If you watch, he throws the ball, and he's pretty accurate, and he can throw it on a dime. I mean, way down the field. I've seen several good passes this year.
Something about them. They don't look as good to me.
They don't look as crisp. They look like
explosive.
Well,
maybe.
they did handle the Buccaneers quite easily, and they just kind of gave them a touchdown at the end.
They didn't look that good in New England. That was one of the games they didn't look that good. They scored a late touchdown to pull away because New England was right, huh?
Sloppy.
It was sloppy. It was a sloppy game.
I
know it was, but it was raining. I mean, that's
First
a
game,
big
sloppy.
Yeah. That's what he meant. Sloppy field conditions, not sloppy play.
Yeah.
Well, it was sloppy play too.
Well,
they lost the ball. I mean,
Well, I'm just saying. But back to we're talking about Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
With those guys like Trevor Lawrence.
No, I mean the pressure was put on him, and Joe Burrow is injury prone. That's what they're saying. Now he's not injury prone. Let me back up. He's injured this year. He doesn't look as good. And
they've got to pick and choose which games.
It kind of makes me think about Baker. The way he played the year hurt, he should have just sat out.
He should.
Because the first year he looked good. He played injured, and he hasn't been the same yet.
The thing
but the
thing about Baker, though, that he's done, and he makes too many mistakes as far as interceptions.
He
makes
Dak
bad
Prescott.
I don't know about that either.
But he did that after the
I think
injury.
Dak is more physically talented. For
You
NFL.
saw it his first year.
I'm not saying
He
he's
cleaned
not,
it
but
up.
it's just this mental game that he's lacking.
Baker had cleaned it up his second year, and then he got injured.
Mm-hmm.
And that injury season was where you saw it go back downhill.
A shoulder issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. He should have played.
That's
why
the
the Browns went, and most other quarterback. Well, let's talk about quarterbacks real quick as we getting ready to move on to colleges. That had another signed big contract is Lamar Jackson, and we've had some different opinions about him on this podcast.
Well, he just got beat by Gardner Minshew.
I don't think he's that great. I mean, if you look, he doesn't average, but I mean, on his passing, I didn't know this, but I saw this the other day for stats. He averages like 175 yards a game.
Look at the stats, have you?
I did.
They're fun, aren't they?
No, they're not.
They're not really that fun. But when you're bored,
Nobody likes the stats.
No, but I mean, no. So 22-31 last game. That's not bad percentage. 202 yards. He's only averaging 6.5. And so, are we looking at his wide receivers aren't making the plays that they should?
Oh, my mouse died.
Is the yak not there because it's not for him? I mean, he was yacked down at the bottom. So you got to have receivers.
Oh yeah, Kenny went yak hunting.
Yeah. No, so what I'm saying is some of your receivers in this league make your quarterback look a lot better. I've tried to tell Zach this, who thinks Kirk Cousins is MVP. He has the numbers of an MVP. He's losing. He's 0-3 because he's got the best wide receiver.
No run game.
Well, he's got the best wide receiver.
He has no run game, and their defense ain't all that great.
But he's got the
They
best.
can't keep the other teams from scoring.
I said run game. He's got the best wide receiver in the league, though. So, and when
Technically,
you
two.
and possibly the
I mean,
best
he's got
tight
a really
end.
good rookie.
And I guess
Jefferson and Addison. Addison's no fucking.
I've looked at his stats. Ain't
He's
that
still.
great? But anyway,
Hey, but he's still.
win some, lose some. But anyway, he's okay for your third wide receiver.
So
on your
let me
fantasy
ask you this
team.
question.
It works for me. I beat the hell out of you.
Let me just ask you: would you take Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott? Put them on the same team. If you put Dak
they're
on
pretty
the
much-
Vikings and you put Cousins on Dallas, who would be the better quarterback?
I think you probably that's a bad comparison because I think you
But
need.
that's the question.
That's the
Answer
question.
it.
I mean, if you
Kirk
switched them right now,
Cousins.
Don't.
Hey, I have an argument though
Answer it.
because I think that a complementary football plays a big difference on how your quarterback looks and what he has to do. If you're always behind, you're going to be always throwing the ball. Hence, if your defense is bad, you're always playing from behind. Makes you make bad decisions. Play calling is much different. Now, if you are ahead, have a good defense, Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts come to my mind immediately, and should be Dak.
Racist.
Is those quarterbacks? They might just be dinking and dunking 10, 15 yards, get some yak, running backs are running, rather than, oh shit, we're down by 20 already in the third. Now we're just chunking the ball, and they're getting interceptions, penalties, and punting. So, and then the stats for missed. I mean, there's as far as completion percentage and touchdowns to ratio of interceptions.
I know.
But no, if you was to put Kirk Cousins on the Dallas Cowboys, I think they would have a better chance to continue winning. But because of his ability to throw the ball, but I've never really seen Kirk. I mean, I saw Kirk at Washington. He did okay at times, but Justin Jefferson's been a huge piece of what Kirk has done at the Vikings. Stats-wise, catch the ball wise. Hawkinson's good too. So when you get into that, and that's another thing, Dallas doesn't have a good tight end. I don't give a shit what anybody wants to say. They don't have him as a weapon. And the second thing is what Dallas needs to go back to doing.
They got rid of Schultz, didn't they?
And if you look, he went to Houston. If you look at Dallas and their offensive play calling, and I know it's a taboo thing to talk about, but you want to get your teams to win is you get Lamar and you get Dak back to running the ball. That's what they did in college. It's what they excelled at. And you had that option. Now they are
So
ready.
then you just become one-dimensional and you're just a run team.
No, they still got to throw it because they have the ability, but they're one-dimensional now because that's all they do is throw. It's like they've been reined in not to run because of injury, whatever the statistical thing about whatever, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you could talk about,
They
what is
should-
that?
as a
What is that
quarterback-
word that you, it's not stats, but it's
God, I
not
just got
hieroglyphics, but what? It's not hieroglyphic.
What
you know what I'm
the
saying?
hell are you talking
But you know what I'm
about?
saying? They do
Analytics?
Analytics. There we go. I was close.
Hieroglyphics,
Close to
analytics. That was close, yeah.
I got him to say it though,
A
didn't I?
picture of a bird and water and fire
But you
are
knew
the
what I
same
was-
things
you
as
knew-
analytics. Yeah,
you knew
we
what I
know
was-
that all
yeah.
the pharaohs went through analytics
Yes.
to see, and that's how they built the pyramids.
Yeah.
We all know
But no,
that.
whatever. But what
Analytics has
you
been
knew what I
around
meant. You knew what I meant. That's why
years.
Hieroglyphics and analytics.
I threw you some chum. You could be Jaws. Okay, just thought you caught on. But anyway, so going back to that though, I think some of those things hurt those quarterbacks that excelled well in college and doesn't. Kyler Murray's another example. But what happens is you see Kyler Murray's got hurt. Obviously, that's why they don't want to do it. They've paid them big money, and it's a shame because now what's going to happen is you're going to be watching these people pick up just pocket passer quarterbacks only, and that at times has failed miserably too in the draft. Because everyone's in love. Everyone's claims Caleb Williams is going to go number one.
Oh, I don't want him to. I really don't want him to.
Caleb Williams concerns me because he does very well with his mobility.
When he's scrambling around, he's better when he's on the move. And he's going to get... That's the difference between the college and
Kyler
NFL,
Murray,
though.
Kyler Murray. He reminds me of
I
Kyler
know.
Murray, but a better
So look
passer.
at, and I
Yeah,
was thinking
but
about
that's
this.
the difference in the college and the NFL. In college, he's the best athlete on the field. He can outrun everybody. He can make those plays. You get in the NFL, everybody's just as good as you are. I mean, he can't outrun the whole 11 guys on defense and get around to get open. That's how they get hurt.
Sure.
I mean, that's...
And I was thinking about it. Aside from Jalen Hurts, look at the quarterbacks that Lincoln Riley has put out there.
I'm not going to wash up Baker yet.
I
I've
don't
still
know,
got.
but look at what's
I don't
out
like
there.
Baker's history. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. But you
X
Well,
amount-
Baker's been put in a
X-
fail
X
situation.
amount of
Look
teams,
at-
X amount of
hold on.
coordinators,
Look
X
at-
amount of
look
shitty
at the
offensive line.
cockiness that
And they're
they
still
look
bad
at the
at Tampa.
cockiness that comes out when they're in college. They're cocky as hell. They're brash.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler was, even though you want to say that he wasn't. He was. Baker
Hurts
hugely.
never was.
Hurts never was. Remember, Hurts only
And
played
Hurts
the
is
one
the best
season.
one
But
out of all
Hurts
of them.
took what he learned at Alabama, playing in the SEC, and what he learned
And
from
OU.
Lincoln,
Okay.
and you put those together, and he's just fun. And what's going to happen when Caleb gets there?
Hold on.
Caleb's cocky as hell, brash. He's going to get
He's gonna
smashed.
fail,
This
yeah.
first good smash, he's going to come up with his bell rung. He's going to look like
His
Tua.
fingernail polish is going to fall off. It
It's-
says
he's-
fuck
yeah.
whoever he's playing.
He's like, I want a strawberry Dr. Pepper.
They make this?
Yeah, have you not seen the commercial?
I have not.
I'll-
Oh, that was Fansville.
I'm picking strawberry
Oh,
Dr. Pepper.
I got you. Okay. So, going back to that, but now one must admit, out of the OU quarterbacks that you talk about, Hurts went into the best situation.
Well, did he?
Did he? Are you kidding me?
Who was the quarterback before him?
I don't remember. Neither do you.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, sucked.
Yeah.
So he went into the best position.
Yeah.
That team that he went to was already closely built. If you remember, Carson Wentz took them to a playoff and won a game, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. I don't remember.
But anyway, he was.
With the defense won it
I
for
mean,
him.
you could try to argue, but he was by far the best position. Stop. Just stop that. He's been set up to be in the best position at OU quarterbacks.
But he
Hands
also
down.
was the best one to come up because he didn't have that chip on his shoulder. He went in willing
My
to learn.
only no. The
He
only
went
thing
in without the cockiness.
The only thing I'm saying is his team that he went to as a drafted
Spencer
quarterback.
Rattler still has that brash assholeness.
It was the best team you could. That team was playoff before Hurts got there. No one else was for an OU quarterback.
Well, that's fine.
Okay, I'm just saying it was the best.
And they built around him, but you saw the attitudes they
It
had.
was all
when they went
year
in.
one with Hurts. Let's see year 2, 3, and 4.
Saw
That's
the
all I'm saying.
attitude that they went in with.
I'm kind of like that with Purdy too. I'm about the same. Hurts is better than Purdy though.
Yeah, he
That's
is.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, he got injured. We don't know.
Who got injured?
Remember, Purdy got injured in that game. We honestly don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean,
But there's a rematch.
He's
There's a
got
rematch
He's
this
got a
season.
good record and everything.
They hold on. They have a.
Well, Dallas in 2 weeks is going to be fun to see.
No, Dallas can't score. Dallas is weak on
Yeah,
their
Dallas
offense.
Dallas's good defense is
So,
going to be shown.
Hypothetically, before we move on to college, let's say in 2 weeks Dallas plays. No, not hypothetically. They do play in 2 weeks. But hypothetically, what if Dallas comes away 37-21 winners? You guys still going to sit there and go, fluke, move on?
No, I think Dallas has got a really good team. I think
Well, is
Dak
That's
Diggs-
37 points against the number one defense.
Is
I'm
Diggs
just
gonna
throwing
be
that
back?
out there. I don't fucking know. I'm just saying hypothetically. I don't know what all the players. I mean, this is hypothetical. I mean, is 37-21 against the number one defense good enough that you say Dallas can't score? Now, I'm not saying they will. I'm
I
saying
don't think they will.
Hypothetically, though, are you going to sit back and go, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I misspoke? No.
They're going to match up against
So
the Browns,
fluke.
too.
Fluke is what you'd say.
It's been consistent with Dak and the Cowboys the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, it's not a
It'll
fluke.
only be a fluke if you look at the rest of the season and Dallas goes downhill.
Oh, no. I know. I'm just saying, I mean, hypothetically, we're talking from now to 2 weeks, and what are you going to be saying after that week?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that
Just
game,
a fluke.
if Dallas does end up winning that game, you can turn around and say, okay, for the rest of the season, Dallas wins more games.
That means you only had
But
one
if Dallas
loss
starts,
so far, though.
But if Dallas starts losing, then it's a fluke.
Because, I mean, honestly, they break 30 on the Patriots. Pretty good for the offense, I think.
Yeah,
If they can hit 30.
New England's got a hell of a defense.
I'm talking 30 on the offense, not defense combined, all that stuff. But they can get. But then I sat there though, and
But the defense didn't score last week at all. And
I
they
know.
had 16
I
points
know.
against the Cardinals.
I know. But had
And you look at the
five
point-
to six
I
opportunities.
mean, because
that
we
they failed.
talked about the Dallas a couple weeks
Mine
ago.
was all about the red zone last week. I mean, it was like, what the hell are you doing? I mean,
But they've had the worst scoring red zone. I mean, statistics out of every team in the NFL
He
this
said
year.
Statistics
I know.
Have you heard that?
I have been looking.
Come on over.
Well, I've got to be able to argue with you, so I have to watch more.
But I mean, you argue with statistics, but statistics will paint you a picture. It might not paint the whole picture,
I
but
know.
you'll get a little bit of it. So anyway, no. As far as that though, I'm still going. Who's your best team, Sean? You still going 49ers? NFL?
Yeah. I'm gonna keep.
I'm going to say the Chiefs just because they got Mahomes.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a game changer right there. The Chiefs.
I would probably say the Chiefs too.
Well,
Miami is a second right
yes.
up there.
The one thing that helped take a lot of the pressure off the Bears this week was Taylor Swift was there, and nobody cared that the Bears were getting beaten. They got beat down.
I know that's
Oh,
so
I
much.
thought you were getting
that's-
ready to
They
say
got
nobody
beat down.
cared that Taylor Swift
No,
was
that
Taylor
was-
Swift was there.
That
so
was so much bullshit.
That took
and just,
everything
it's just
away
to sell
from
her
the
tickets and
beatdown.
sell tickets for the Chiefs. I mean, it's a
It
publicity
took- hey,
stunt. That's all it
Kelsey's
was.
jerseys are up 400%. There are a bunch of little girls
I saw
out
the
there
stats.
in Travis Kelsey jerseys.
I
understand.
don't think it's necessarily publicity because I think they are kind of
I
an item there. But hey,
But
I
they
mean,
put too much emphasis on it. They was publicized too much. I mean, there's a lot of people that have girlfriends and have people. I mean, it's not all about, oh my God, Taylor Swift's at the game. It's Kelsey's girlfriend. Oh my God, they're in love, true love. Who gives a shit? We're watching football.
well, but I think in reality, you've got the commissioner going, I freaking love this.
Money.
More! Because now that brings a female more into it.
I understand that.
And it's kind of why this week, is it this week they're doing the cartoon Toy Story game?
They are doing the
Yes.
Toy Story.
Yeah.
It's the
Jags
Vikings in.
Is that the London game this week?
That's a London
That
game.
is
So it's
the
going to be
London
at 9
game.
a.m. So I'm interested to see what they do. I think
It's not
that
the Jags Vikings, is it? I thought it was the Falcons. Maybe I'm wrong.
Hold on, I can't find Minnesota, Carolina.
Is it? Okay.
No, that was
No, it's
last week,
but
dude.
it's,
That was last week's game.
no, that's this week.
That's this week. Yeah, I've got them picked in my picks.
Or did I fuck that up?
Is Carolina? Minnesota, the Carolina?
Minnesota played
There's-
Chargers.
Oh, that's right.
It's
that's
Jacksonville.
Because I have that
Hold
in
on, hold on.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Atlanta, Jacksonville.
I'll bring that up.
Atlanta. I said it was Atlanta.
Yeah, it was Atlanta because I remember seeing Surfer Boy as playing with the toys and Doug Peterson.
I'll bring that up in my minute here.
What?
Because I
No, bring it up. We're on NFL. Bring it up.
So, what I bitched about as we close, and this was the gaffe of the week, is Brandon Staley. I cannot stand as a coach. Talked about it. Lincoln Riley's going to be the new coach. That's my prediction. If Caleb leaves, if Daddy's not lying. Fourth in overtime, 4th and 1, they go for it on their own 24. They don't get it.
Mhm.
And they get lucky because Kirk Cousins throws an interception, and they win.
Mhm.
And everyone's sitting there going, would you not agree that the Chargers now, Eckler's out, obviously, injury, but wouldn't you think that and Brandon Staley is a defensive coach? I'm not going to call him guru because anybody that's called him that shouldn't even be on the air anywhere, even beforehand. I mean, is this the first coach fired? I mean, is he going to make a season? I think Eberflus is on the line too a little bit.
Eberflus is on the line because Fields went backwards.
The whole team has went backwards.
The whole team. The whole team.
I don't know. He's had a lot of time to throw, and he's just stood there and held the ball.
Dude.
Yeah, I've watched.
That team sucks.
Did you watch?
He
Have you
can't.
seen
He
anything?
can't find a wide open receiver, and they're all over the freaking field.
Yeah, they're wide open. He's
Oh,
had a lot
that
of
yes. But I
protection.
don't think they've got a lot of time, and I think their defense.
Oh yeah, he's had a lot of time.
I think their defense is horrid. I don't know the stats on that.
Yeah, I will say that the defense is getting beat the hell out.
I mean, that's a total team effort. There.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Staley's probably the first coach fired. Big names coming to that. It's an LA market. I call them a San Diego Chargers. But it's a big market. They're talented. They have one of the highest paid quarterbacks now in Justin Herbert.
Titans coach.
He'll be fine. No, he's safe.
Think they got him for another year?
He's safe.
Mike Tomlin.
Look at their team. They fired their GM last year.
Fired the offensive coordinator who went to
who?
The Titans offensive
Oh,
coordinator.
I don't remember. He wasn't any good. If he went anywhere else, they got lucky.
Was it Monken or Dunkel or?
Monken came from Georgia, and he's the new offensive coordinator at the
He's
Ravens.
in Baltimore.
The Ravens, yes. The Ravens, yeah. Good pickup. Going to take a little bit of time for him to
From the looks of it, it's going to take a lot of bit of time.
Hey, but NFL's great. I mean,
Vikings head coach. I could see him being on the hot seat.
No, not yet.
They're taking a step. They've taken a step back.
No, they've taken a step back because they've built a shitty defense for one.
And their offensive line is absolutely horrid.
Oh wait, they got rid of Dalvin Cook, one of the best running backs in the league.
I understand this.
To save money. And what did they put that money to? I don't know. I haven't seen any improvements
You're just hitting
anywhere.
everybody's mic now.
Oh, sorry.
but yeah, I mean, that's another statistic. Last year and this year so far.
Who picked the Vikings last? Let me see.
Nobody.
Damn it, I changed my pick. Should have picked them last. Packers.
But I'm just telling you,
Which I might be right after that.
Didn't that change mine?
They
The
look
Bears
bad.
being last?
Last year and this year so far, he has been hit more, pressured more, sacked more.
Who? Oh yeah.
I mean, he's
not
time.
bad. It's just he just don't.
I'm just telling you, if you moved him to San Francisco or the Eagles or Dallas,
we called it the Jets. We've already called this. I called this trade 2 weeks ago.
I called it 3 weeks ago in your driveway.
Yes. But we have record on this now.
I think people are stealing our ideas.
I think so.
I think they are.
Somebody's going through and be like,
USXFL.
hey, these guys know what the hell. Did you ever tweet that out to The Rock?
No, I need to put it as my.
I told you to.
I need to put it as my. Well, no, they just officially. Did you see it just happen? We just got a letter to. I saw a letter.
We got a
Twitter.
letter? We didn't get
a letter. No, we got.
Did we get a cease and desist letter?
That's coming next.
Because I don't check our email.
We put our. Oh yeah.
Sportsallegedly@gmail.com. I never check it. Keep sending it. All the cease and desist. All the everything.
No. I knew I was going to put that as our new picture screen.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, but you need to add it at The Rock and be like,
well, I think it just. I saw on
this.
Twitter that there was a letter of official
intent.
No, like they done it, like it's happening.
Oh, it's already processed.
Yes, yeah. So, which is good.
All
we
right.
called it. It should be. It's the only thing that's going to happen.
Reaching for
All right, so
my mouse is dead.
NFL, great games this week.
I'm having
Next week, previewing the NFL or talking about the NFL is going to be even better. I thought this week's games kind of sucked. But next week,
no. We've got.
No, I say in last week's was not.
Last
as good
week's game
is
is
this
not going to be
week's
as good
coming.
as this week's coming
Yes,
up.
this week's slate is pretty good.
Yeah,
all right.
looking at. God, where am I at? Oh, there I am. Looking at the Bills Dolphins. We'll see if Tua's head will take all those hits. Packers lost to Lions. What we find out?
We didn't even talk about that.
What did we find out?
That they still don't know how to play Jamar Gibbs correctly.
Well,
so
that's hilarious. I love that. Hannah had him on the bench. Fantasy news for NFL. Hannah's bench scored 30 points, 40 points.
Close to 40 hits. She
Yeah,
had Montgomery on the bench.
Yeah.
And I had Gibbs as my starting, and about tired of that.
And
shit,
that could be another reason why she hates us.
Well,
we don't know.
what are you going to talk about Gibbs? I mean, Montgomery had a blowout killer freaking week. So you think they should bench him and put Gibbs as a starter?
I didn't say that. Didn't say that at all.
He's got Gibbs.
I know he does.
And I got Laporta. Laporta didn't even do a tenner for me.
No. But
So I'm very upset by that.
So I want to talk a little bit about Montgomery, as everyone is falling in love with this guy.
What? I've always been. He was a Bear. I've always liked him.
What about
He
him?
had 32 carries, for 121 yards.
And
That
3
says it
TDs.
right there.
And 3 TDs.
Yeah, well, you get it at the 1 because Gibbs got you there, or Goff did, and it's a 3.78 average for running. Gibbs, look at his stats, over 6. Every time the guy touches the ball, he's electric and he's a generational talent.
I saw him drop.
I've said this.
I saw him drop the
He
ball
dropped
a
that
few
one
times.
because the pass was behind him. He was
more
running
than
this
that.
way,
Hold
back
on.
this way.
How many times was he targeted?
Oh, I don't know what he's targeting, but I think he averaged. Okay,
Jamar
sorry.
Gibbs, 8 for 40.
Go all down to his
Whoa,
receiving.
let's talk about that rushing.
Receiving. I said total yards, total per carry, per reception. So, well, maybe I read something wrong.
Man, I think you
Hold
read
on,
a lot.
hold on. I'm sorry. That was for the season. My bad. It was for the season. He did have an off game. It was for the season. His
An off game.
overall average. Well, I
Hey,
mean,
you're
but hold
talking
on.
about 4 yards of carry not being good.
Well, go down.
Any team that can handle.
No, up. I mean, I'm sorry. You had a guy have 32 carries and averaged 3.8, and you had Gibbs who got 8 carries. Now, if you watch another thing about their play calling, every third down Montgomery would go out and Gibbs would come in.
Yeah.
So
He's a third down back.
So what they would do, not to run it, what he'd do is he'd be out 4 yards behind line of scrimmage.
I'm just saying they're using him as a third
Goff's
down
over here
back.
going, looking. Ah, shit, there's Gibbs. Well, half the defense is already running to him and tackling his ass. It's just not set up to be what it should be. The guy's better than what it is, and hey, that's fine. Montgomery's having a good year. It's a free agent they signed that they're paying more money
Did they
to.
do
That's
1
very
year?
cute and all,
Did they only
and
do
they
1 year or
have
is
to
he for
do it.
3
It's
years?
just the way it goes. It's just the way it goes.
Is he 1 year or 3 years?
I hope it's
Well, that'd be
half a year.
something that Mr.
'Cause,
Stat
I know I didn't look at it. I just know he's a free agent, so they gotta kiss his ass.
Something Captain Stats would know.
Anyway,
Is that your
Gibbs is
superhero?
good.
Is that what you're going for? Is fucking Halloween? Is
Gibbs-
Captain Stats?
Gibbs should be good, doing better, and that's not just because my fantasy. I'm just telling you, this guy, it's gonna be
always
good.
fantasy.
He's gonna be good.
How bad did I spank you last week?
Whatever, it doesn't matter. But anyway,
I think I got the largest
but
margin.
hey, that was good. So
largest margin of victory.
No, you did not. So let's not talk shit. You didn't beat me by the largest margin of victory.
What? Look at it. I think I
Oh,
did.
this week?
Yeah.
I meant overall.
Oh no.
I'm 0-3, by the way, in fantasy, if anyone wants to know. That's why they're giving me shit. How many of you won? 1?
Yeah.
And how many of you won? 1.
I'm in the playoffs.
Yeah, good for you. But
We
anyway,
started today.
we got the
I'm in
goddamn
the playoffs.
professionals on here talking about fantasy football.
No, the
I've been
professional.
really
Lawrence.
close.
No,
I've been
the
Trevor
really
professional-
Lawrence over here.
The professional's asleep in bed right
And
now.
he's-
Mr. Ad Drop.
he's
I
ninth
guarantee
place.
you. The thing is, I wait, and I love working at that time because I just sit there and I wait till Tuesday goes into Wednesday, and at 2 a.m. Wednesday morning, here comes just everything. Just
Also, we're
all
playing
the
fantasy
ad
on the
drops.
Sleeper app. Sleeper, thank you. If you any money coming over, we keep pimping that. But Sleeper app is really good.
I'm
but
not
that,
having a good time
But
with
that
Sleeper.
Wednesday there, I mean, it's ready to roll. So I wake up.
I'm
We
not
need to
having
do
a
a
good time with
dynasty,
Sleeper.
though.
I don't want to do that.
Yes, we do.
I know everyone says that. All right, let's move
I'm not
on.
having a good time with the Sleeper app.
You don't like it? Have you seen any of the other ones?
Oh,
They
yeah.
suck.
I used to use Yahoo, and
Oh,
I've used Yahoo.
You
and I've used
Yahoo.
ESPN.
I looked at one guy at the bar. Not even close.
You're like, Kenny, you can't gamble on it.
Good point. So anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about some college football.
let's go
Now,
to college.
obviously, as we move on, you want to back up? Let's talk about a win already. Let's talk about a win in the books
Tulsa.
this week.
2 wins in 2 weeks. And me and Kenny had picked the over, so we're right there.
2 wins in 3 weeks.
2 weeks.
No,
2
because
wins.
they lost to Washington last week. Oh no, they did beat. That was the first.
Northern
two.
Illinois.
Northern Illinois was
and
the
then
last.
they played.
You are right.
They played yesterday.
I forgot they didn't split that up. That's
and,
right.
Yeah, and they beat
So a winning streak. Is
Yeah.
What we're talking about.
little winning streak for Tulsa.
I think in this.
And they were
I
4.5, and we picked them to go over.
I think all the men picked them to
Yes.
win. Yeah. So
The last
and
2
the
weeks
ladies,
we picked
and
them
the
all.
ladies took the Northern Illinois. No, what I want to talk about, the thing that we've talked about on this podcast.
Hit your mic.
Oh, sorry. The things we've talked about on this podcast, and there's been plenty, and I know you all are
how did he
listening out
fix
there.
it just like I did?
But anyway, one thing that we mentioned when Kevin Wilson was hired as head coach at Tulsa, we thought, damn, interesting hire. And then we thought, that's a good hire. That's a damn good hire. Tough knows offense. You need an offensive coach for a small program. Tulsa still has the lowest enrollment in Division I. Last I checked, I could have changed this year, but it was as last year. So the hiring a guy that's tough. I mean, I'm not saying he was a juggernaut at Indiana, but he made them better, and he got fired because he was too tough at Indiana. Look at those coaches that get tough; they're always winning. And not that he's going to do that this year. Mike Leach, he got fired from Tech because he was too tough.
Well, he stuck a guy in a shed, allegedly.
Probably deserved it. You met his father on TV?
No, his father does deserve it.
Yeah, but anyway.
His father deserves it.
And,
they both deserve it.
Yes.
Let's put them both in the shed.
So, but anyway, so it was one of those deals that it was a great hire. Now, you changed it a little bit. We thought Bradley Braxton, he talked him in out of the portal, brought him back into Tulsa. He gets hurt game 1. Williams comes in. He's a freshman. He might be a redshirt freshman. I can't remember. I thought in not the Illinois game, he didn't play the greatest. But if you move over to the box score of the other game,
the one
that he's getting better as he's getting more reps. And one thing I like about that is he's using his legs. And when you have a talented receiver, just like we talked about in the NFL, if you got a talented receiver in the college game and they can move,
but Cardell threw for 3 and ran for 1.
Correct.
So
no, I'm not saying he's just a runner first. No, by no means.
Right.
I'm saying, but your defense, it makes it harder for those defensive coaches to plan for a stationary quarterback versus a mobile quarterback. It's what has haunted OU in the past how many years?
Well, you mean all the guys that just stand there and go?
We make Heisman Trophy winners out of mobile quarterbacks. I don't know, at Iowa State, at I'm just random school, Kansas State.
Kansas State.
Yeah,
Excuse me. Yeah.
So, but no, great win for Tulsa. That's 2-2. Sean, pull up their schedule a little bit. I want to look at. We've talked about
Cardell in
the goal, and I thought them making a bowl game. I had them at the beginning of the year 5-7, and they got Northern Illinois win, and that's one that I didn't have them getting. So as we look at their schedule, FAU, Tom Herman's coaching there, but it's his first year. Rice looks better because they have not Slovis, but Slovis is at BYU. They've got another kind
JT Daniels?
JT Daniels, 12th year
I'm sorry,
senior.
Slovis and JT Daniels just go everywhere.
Yeah, they do. Well, I think Daniels is 12th year senior. So he's at Rice.
They're just going to be moving.
So they look good. SMU's got talent. I think they can beat Charlotte, North Texas, and East Carolina. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should get them close to bowl eligibility. And that's a win for Tulsa.
Yeah.
First year, Kevin Wilson.
And you remember we went in not knowing who the defensive coordinator was.
He came in after spring. Yes, he did. He came after spring ball. And and he so far looks pretty good too. The only thing I was telling a associate of mine, Cardell Williams, is I hope
you have one associate.
Do you think I'm concerned that one of those quarterbacks are probably going to hit the portal now?
Well, you and I said this, and it's probably going to be Braxton.
Probably, and he's got some talent, but you want the Williams kid to stay, and they're going to be put in a tough situation to say, "Hey, coach, am I coming? Am I the starter? No, am I the starter next year? Am I it, or is it?" And that's unfortunately the game that those college coaches have to play. So we got Tulsa, FAU next week, 5:00, or I'm sorry, not this weekend, but yes, next weekend, and because they've already won. And I think that's a possible win. So they need to try to get one out of those two before their bye week, before they hit SMU. All right, let's move on to. I took my notes. I was taking notes earlier this week.
Let's go ahead and let's do this one first.
That's what I was getting ready to talk about.
Oh, you're going to do this sad game.
I was taking my notes earlier, and I wanted to talk about the Cowboys because I was pissed. Because I thought, what?
You had bad Cowboys and shitty Cowboys.
Yeah,
I think is what you
I put Cowboys, and then I put shittier Cowboys because I was pissed about the Dallas Cowboys because I talk all that shit on or smack on them for being good, and then they blow. And then OSU, who I took the over at that 6.5, look like they ain't gonna win 3-4 games.
Fool.
I know.
Well, at least we all took OSU versus the bye, and we all had the bye winning.
I thought the spread went up in that one, though. I talked about that a little bit.
I had it at 13.5. I think it went up to 27.
Okay, so obviously the number one problem that we've talked about with OSU.
Quarterback.
And so this game, they decide, we're just going to play one. And I think as OSU fans sat there and watched.
And they played the wrong one.
That's exactly what I was going to say. OSU fans are sitting there going, I'm fucking playing him.
Just play Gundy. Play Gundy.
Bowman throws a pretty ball.
He does.
But he also throws a pretty ball to other people, too. No mobility. Sean, how many sacks did I didn't look at the stats on this game. How many sacks did go back down to see if Iowa State had many sacks or defense?
I don't think they did. They would have been there.
What their performance?
It would have said right there that there were sacks.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, because it includes sacks in with the
So neither.
quarterback.
Well, then that shows you enough about OSU too that they didn't have a sack. None. I thought OSU defense was. We talk about OU.
Yeah,
Or, I'm sorry.
oh no, this is
I
receiving.
talk about OSU's.
Sacks 0 and 0.
Okay, that one shows a
There's
sack.
one.
Why doesn't it show a sack on the?
Who knows?
Did he
1 and
sack?
0.
Oh, he might have sacked a running back that was throwing.
Possible.
Is that how that counts?
The defense I thought was the culprit in the loss this game. To be honest.
Oh,
I mean, the offense wasn't any good, but to put up 27 points and Iowa State, who's not looked good offensively at all, they do look good defensively. I think they've in the top 10, not in overall defense, but statistically they are up there in the nation as far as defense overall ranking. Of course, they hadn't played anybody. They played a crap offense with OSU. But
Well, so they come out and they beat an Arizona State team that put 28 on USC.
Yes.
Even though it was a late 28, they still put 28 on USC. And Oklahoma State beat them?
Yeah, Oklahoma State cost me that game because I picked.
Well, Oklahoma State cost me that game, too.
Yeah. I'm not picking them all year. I think OSU is freaking garbage.
I don't know. Well, the lower half of the Big 12.
Is garbage.
The lower half, I guess more than the lower half. BYU. I think I picked BYU lower than I should have. I don't
Way
remember what I
lower.
picked them.
They're a lot better than.
I think Cincinnati, I might have had them a little too low. But I know, remember Kenny was talking up Texas Tech over there.
Yeah.
And then says, oh, I never says that. Yeah, he talked big game there with Texas Tech. But UCF, what have they done so far in the Big 12?
I don't know.
I
can
mean,
look real quick.
do we have anything? So yeah, I can see Oklahoma State just not winning another game all season. Maybe one, possibly one.
you know, and it's a shame too because their whole big hype this year was
UCF
we sold out.
lost to Kansas State 44-31
That's not bad.
last week. Yeah,
That's
it's
not-
not
that's
as
not
bad.
horrible.
No.
Kansas State's.
Is that their only loss overall? Creston UCF.
Give me 2
Oh,
seconds.
and the South Alabama, they lost to the Fighting Major Applewhite Cougars.
You know, there was some chatter that came out of that game too. If you heard that the defense was saying that
Yeah,
everything was pretty telegraphed for the OSU offense. Like they're like we knew what they were getting ready to do.
yeah, I saw
By their
I
sets
saw
and
that.
everything. Now here's the latest on
Yeah.
OSU.
They've lost one to Kansas State.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah, they beat Boise State and they beat Villanova
the juggernaut
and they
in
beat
basketball.
Kent State. And
Uh,
then
you
they
know,
lost to Kansas
Kent
State.
State. What was the Kent State score? Kent State's not a bad team.
Kent State was 56-6.
Oh boy, they're bad. Well, you know their coach left. He's offensive coordinator.
Now,
Colorado.
Boise was a close game. It was 18-16.
Yeah, I think we kind of caught some of that at the end. It was a late game. So let's just put in perspective OSU. Let's start from the top. Gundy, not
He's
big in the
responsible, but
not,
Gundy said that everything's fine.
not big in the portal. Doesn't blames not big in the Neil. He's gonna he needs to retire or get in with the game, and it's just unfortunate. I mean, I think you're seeing some of the older coaches that have been around, and I'm not saying Gundy is an old man, but he's seasoned.
19 years at OSU.
We're seeing, I think,
And times they are a changing,
yeah,
folks, and you gotta.
Kirk France is the only one not really struggling.
Yeah, but
And I think that's because he brought in his son.
no, he sucks, and that son's fired. I mean, that's over with. That's even a bad
What,
example.
the love affair's already done with Iowa?
I didn't have a love affair with him.
Yeah, you did.
No, it's bad. So
Everybody has a love affair with Iowa at the beginning of the season, and then they just
Every
fall
year.
apart. I don't know if you've ever noticed that.
I don't know. Have we though? I mean,
Not
does
we,
anybody think that?
not
Oh.
we. I'm talking about the other talking heads out there. The other, like Colin Cowherd and Joel Klatt, Mad Dog. Those guys all seem to love. You know, done texting over there, Shearer?
Sorry.
Stop
No.
answering the company.
No,
I
so-
know who's texting.
No, so what I wanted to talk about as far as that goes is, so he's going to have to make changes, and I think the first change he needs to make is his offensive coordinator. Casey Dunn's been a loyal guy. He's been there, but the offense is not any good. Everybody in this state, as far as you talk about radio personalities, TV personalities, they're talking about it. It's not very...
Jimbo's going down. Nick Saban seems to
I don't
be
know.
having
Jimbo's
a low...
getting another good recruiting class, though. I mean, we
He
missed
gets
out on...
great recruiting classes, but they don't do anything.
But I'm telling you, it's like the Lions in the draft. Eventually, it's going to pan out. I just think so. I mean, I really do. But
Dabo's having down, but Dabo lost a lot on
I'm
both
just going
sides
to tell you
of the
right
ball.
now, Dabo kind of reminds me,
Of your dad?
of Coach Sealing.
Gundy?
They're neither one of them are playing the Neil money in the portal the way. They're losing more players than they're bringing in. Both of them.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see that change a little bit, though. And I'll give Gundy a little credit. He did try to go after some big-name quarterbacks, and then it just went somewhere else. Allegedly, him and Spencer Sanders and the team or whoever else, it would just not jive. It was one of them things that, it was just going to be a done deal.
Yeah, Spencer really took a lot from that offense when he left.
They did, but they claimed the locker rooms. There was an issue there. I don't know what it was. I never really heard, but there was just some negativity there between them and the team. Him, I don't know. But anyway.
So real quick on UCF, they're going to go. They're going to host Baylor, then they're going to go into Kansas and then OU. They got a pretty. That's their two roughest games in the Big 12. Well, Cincinnati as well. I didn't even see the score of that. Have you looked at Cincinnati BYU?
I have not. But
Kenny
I can look
really
at
needs
Cincinnati to kill
to
it.
win,
To kill it, make OU look better.
but they were tied last we looked. So that's that.
Well, I think that
BYU 21, Cincinnati 13, third quarter, 5 minutes left.
it's going to be a close game. BYU maybe is a little better than what we thought, too.
Me and Sean was just talking about
That's
that.
what
when
we
you
talked
stepped
about when
out.
you went
Yeah.
in. Is that we had kind of had a couple teams lower than we
A
didn't.
couple
We didn't
teams
believe
higher
them
than
coming
what
in.
we. Yeah,
Well, Tech's interesting. They held, we had them kind of high.
we talked
Oh,
about.
did you
yeah.
talk about that? Sorry. Because they held Oregon close and then went to shit after that, and Oregon looks like the Final Four.
Colorado?
So what's that?
Tech might beat with Colorado.
No, it was Oregon.
Oregon,
Who did Colorado beat?
Nebraska, and-
TC. No.
TCU, yeah.
Was that game one
Yes.
Yeah, it was game one for them.
for them? So, well, what do you think about
Right.
that?
Right.
Before we move in,
You want to
before we
talk
move
about
on.
Colorado football?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the cool thing to talk about now. They're
Well-
playing USC, and they're playing like at 8 in the morning, which is interesting. It's actually going to be 11 a.m. kickoff at Colorado. It's 9 or 8, or was it 10? 10 at it's 11
Do you
our
know
time.
how to tell
Sorry,
time?
it's 11 our time. 10,
It's 10 their time.
Their time.
They're in Mountain.
Yes. And spread was what, 20 something?
Oh, for the
Colorado USC this week. This
21?
is yeah, 21 and a half or something like that.
I forgot. I didn't want to take it. You tried to get me to take it, and I said no.
I did.
You tried to talk me into it, and I said no. We're not taking that trash because the USC defense is going to give up, and Travis Hunter not being there, big part of their game. I did see that Travis Hunter and that Colorado State kid did a video together, made up, talked about it. Like there was no hard feelings between what happened with that hit.
I think it was one of those. It wasn't necessarily personal, but I think it was a very rough, violent game. I think both teams had kind of got tired of the talk and the chatter.
Yeah,
And and honestly,
and
Colorado
there was
State.
The video, well, there was the video of Colorado coming out saying they were going to kill everybody and kick their asses. They all needed their asses beat. That they didn't know how to play. Oregon. That was the Oregon game. That's what it was.
No, but it was just it was just one of them deals. Yeah, that was the Oregon game. But it was one of those deals that was an in-state rival. Colorado State needed that win. They should have got that win.
They're very close to it.
And I don't know if they won
forgot
last
what
week
was
or not, but they were after that game 0-3.
Oregon? That was last week.
No,
No,
it
Colorado
was Colorado
State.
State.
Oh, Colorado. Yeah, I did not look at that. I think they lost, didn't they?
I don't know. That's what I was saying.
I forgot what conference they're in. Are they in the Mountain?
Just right there.
There they are. This is so many. We just need to get rid of the bottom 5 and just make them all go into the Power 5. They lost to Washington State, lost to Colorado, and they tried to lose to Middle Tennessee. Yeah, Middle Tennessee State was last week. 31-23.
Well, it's I love the whole Colorado deal. I think I don't like some of the dramatics about it, but Dion has it looks like the future, potentially the future of college football because of the portal and the NIL. And if you want that to be the future, then continue to do
Well, the
as you
sales.
do. Well, no, it's just like it's one of those deals that you could bring in a whole new team and be fine.
Ticket sales.
Oh yeah, I mean
That's
that's
what
the
I'm
money
talking about.
part. Yeah, that's the money part.
Well, they need that money part, too.
Oh, BYU scored again.
Did they?
28-13 now.
Uh-oh. Kendall
Man,
Slovis.
Man, oh man. Mm.
Is Kendall Slovis just a good quarterback that doesn't like to be in one place?
USC, West Virginia. Am I right on those? I know. I think USC was one. Was West Virginia the other one he went to
I
for
can't
a minute?
remember. Pitt. There's Pitt.
No, that could be it.
I think he went
These
to,
quarterbacks moving. It's almost like
he
a game.
went to Pitt and JT Daniels went to West Virginia. Isn't that what it was? Because they played each other.
I can't keep track.
I don't either. Well, in other news, there's a tight end trying for a record 9th season out in Miami. He played for Oregon, got hurt like 3 years. He's trying to get another year of eligibility. He's trying to get a 9th year. Like, he keeps getting hurt. And it's at some point you got to tell the kid, look, go be a coach. Go be a strength and conditioning person, educator, something besides this. You might be great, but you're injury prone. You need to protect your body. Sorry. Oh, what's he right? Oh, he's texting the group. Stop texting the group,
No, it's
kid.
not the group. Sorry. That's a
Was
business.
it your what?
That's a business.
You ready?
Yes.
You ready to go to OU?
Well, I was ready, and now I'm seeing Cincinnati get their ass pounded. So it's like,
Well, they got
are we a
13
fraud?
points.
Are we a fraud again? No, don't say it ain't so. Okay, so obviously OU plays Cincinnati last week. 20-6 was the final. Everyone in the nation claims that Cincinnati's got a good defense. Well, they give up 28 to BYU. So what are we doing now? Thoughts from the game?
Creston, please.
I'm not saying a word.
We need your Dylan Gabriel take.
Nope, I'm not.
Cameron,
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, give it up. Let's hear it.
He overthrew the ball way too many times. What the?
Wasn't me. Go ahead.
I did
That's
that.
Dylan Gabriel's God. It's like God is saying, don't say that about him.
But I did it.
He did. He overthrew a lot of passes wide open touchdown passes, and it just you talk about how good he is, and I'm not saying he's bad.
Never say okay. Good. I can say good. I think he is a good quarterback. I've not used the word great.
He did 26 of 38. I was with George and you watching the game.
It was a struggle at first. Now I thought that
Jeff
I'm-
Levy's
motion offense was all motion with no.
that you're
That
not
essentially just takes one.
that you're not
player
using the
out-
motion
Yeah,
guy?
it essentially takes one player out of the offense for
No,
you.
you're right.
Let's run motion,
And
but
there's no- and
not actually.
Well,
do
now
the
I
motion.
don't mind running motion if you got some takers on defense. The hell, they just stood there and
They
watched
knew
them go
that.
by.
Yeah,
and it's like
they
ain't
knew that
going
he
to
wasn't
him.
going to do anything. It was just going to be a pass out to the flat, or it was going to be a run play.
Yeah, two things that impressed me the most, though, about OU so far this year that I thought would be not as good is the wide receivers. I think they've played really well. There's a lot of talent on the wide receivers.
They've made Gabriel look better.
They've made good plays. And and that was my second thing. My third. I thought Gabriel's thrown the ball more accuracy than he did last year. I'm not saying he's great shakes, but I said he's better than he was last year as far as the deep throw. We've watched a lot, even in our 3 wins, go over his head. And we've talked about that. Now, this game, a few plays here and there, this game should have been 34-6. But the most important, obviously, is defense. No doubt the defense is better. The talent is better. Now, are we ready to play with Texas? I don't think so. I've already called it that we're going to lose. And if we win, I'll be ecstatic. But the only way we beat Texas there's a lot of ways. The defense has got to play like they have been and get a few turnovers, and the offense has to make a couple big plays. And I'm talking deep, big plays.
Yeah,
but the most
that secondary has got to hold.
But the most disappointing about this whole year has been the offensive line to me and the running game, and that's probably correlated together. Now, do I think our running backs are the best? I think our two best ones, as we would all say as fans, haven't been playing. Is it an injury? Are they fucking up in practice? They got
Barnes
school
is an
issues
injury.
or whatever. Sawchuck is back now, but he was injured before.
I understand, but
so
there's something with him because they don't play him that much. Does he not? I
don't know.
I'm just.
Are they holding
I'm just
his
going to
red
throw
shirt?
something out there. No.
No.
Is it?
So,
Is it
'cause
one
he
of the
played on
deals where
special
he's
teams
not?
last
Yeah.
game.
Is it one of the deals where he's not smart enough to remember all the plays? Is really? I don't know if he has it here.
I don't know if it's the smartness. I think it's more of the. I wonder if it's what they're doing in practice. Venables has made some of these cryptic things about, well, you got to be there. You got to be the one doing it. You can't be making mistakes. And I honestly think that they are.
Is there a punishment scale?
That's exactly what I was going to say. They're punishers. And Bob Stoops was exactly like that. We used to joke, if you'd fumble as a running back, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
You'd never see some bitch again the rest of the game. They'd put someone else in. Don't fumble. That's the one thing you don't do. Luckily, the Vikings don't have that theory about Madison because he's on my fantasy team also.
It's so great watching your fantasy team. Keep bringing that up.
No, I'm just saying because he fumbles all the time. But
You do remember when right after we drafted, Zach did the rundown of who drafted the best and the worst. I remember we were kind of at the bottom. I was very.
You still are at the bottom. You're 1 win and 3 losses. You're not at the top anywhere.
Kenny, you were at the bottom.
I'm not saying I'm not.
You're at the very bottom.
I'm just saying I wouldn't say I'm not. I mean, I left 50 points.
I
left 50 points on the bench
just
last
above
week.
you.
I mean, it was a bad game.
Zach is just.
I've
above
done that twice.
So
we put Cousins in and got Lawrence out on mine. So this
Did
is
you? Oh, yeah, that's interesting. So going back to OU, listen, am I sold that we're anywhere close to being
team?
that? No, we're not, but we're getting better. I've already made my prediction.
Prediction?
2025 is our year, and we'll go from there.
Kenny's prediction.
Well, I think the defense.
Hold on, we talked about if Levy's going to stay around.
I don't know. Did the Browse thing piss him off?
The play calling last week was a little. I mean, we were moving the ball down the field.
Well, now
Play calling was very suspect.
But this is his first year of being the guy. Second year being the. I know he was the OC at Ole Miss, but Lane.
How can we?
Lane has got his fingers all over that.
How can we go from explosive play call to let's go to Cincinnati and just dumb it down?
I don't know. I think he tries to get too cute. I've kind of said that, and I don't know if it's too cute as trying new stuff, or is it too cute?
If you're up by 30, try new stuff.
I'm kind of with that, but then I also think no, you only try new stuff when you want to win big against a game that's going to be a little tighter. And I think
that caused us to not win that spread.
No, but I think there was some mental. But that spread that you had, it actually dropped. So the nation at that in Vegas, OU did cover the spread. They're 4-0 in covering the spread. It actually dropped down.
They're not in our spread.
No, I know. But I'm just saying in reality, before the kickoff, it did. So we're 4-0 against the spread, which we were not that way with Lincoln Riley. Anyway,
nope.
But we've been spoiled for the offense. I mean, I would rather win a game 20-6 versus a game 59-56.
That's fine. I just win the game.
I mean, and I agree with that. And that's what I'm saying. We're 4-0. We weren't. We're talking.
Remember, Big Game Bob didn't win a lot of games by a lot that he was supposed to blow out.
No, we had some weird ones. Like his first year, we went
6.
First year we were 6-5.
We went. No, it was 7-6 final because that was with the bowl loss.
The bowl.
We lost to Mississippi in the bowl, so it was 7-6 was our
7-6,
final because regular season was 7-5.
Then we beat Florida State.
But that weird, that year we beat A&M by a bunch. It was kind of one of them weird, just kick the shit out of them, and they were pretty good.
Was that the 7?
And then we lost. No, that was a couple years later.
Okay.
We were really good then. But that first year we beat them out of the blue. So he had some big wins. I don't know. I like the defense. It's what we have wanted as fans, and we're getting a taste. So we better stop vomiting on the offense not being what it was, because you're not going to get both those. It just doesn't happen.
I'm not vomiting on the offense being what it was. I am saying
And our future quarterback is there.
Stop getting so damn conservative. How many times did we see him? Here's a run. Here's a run.
Well, I think they're trying.
But now we got to pass.
No, I think they're trying a little too hard to get that running game going at times.
Yeah, and if what's working, you can get if you got your passing game going. You can
short
work,
passing
you can
game
work.
is what we go away from too much.
Right,
though.
but you can get your
5
running
to 7
game,
yards. Boom, boom. They're open all over the
you
place.
can start getting your running game built, pushing them farther down the field.
I agree, but I think they need to do more of our tight end game. If Levy's been weak, and I don't know
Stogner hasn't.
I don't know
really,
if that.
Stogner came back.
Yeah, I don't know if now Davion Mitchell, recruit that we're getting in. I mean, he'll start next year as a true freshman. I mean,
Stogner's
he's
going
good.
to NFL.
I guess, but I mean, he hasn't done anything.
Do you know who I saw?
But I don't think we played them as much as far as pass options.
Do you know who I saw the last week? Just randomly on Monday, Calcaterra.
Oh, at
Philly.
Philly, yes.
I forgot he was on there.
Did he make a play?
I believe he did. I know he was in there for a block, but yeah, he was. He I think he caught a pass or two.
Spread this week for OU's 19.5.
19.5 versus Iowa State.
It's at home. It's a night game, thank God.
Oh God, 6 o'clock.
My liver appreciates night games.
We have some baby birthday parties to do. Creston has to go to his in-laws. Good luck with that. Your wife's gonna murder you anyways.
So what do you think?
I don't have to. I can just do whatever I want.
Score-wise, what do you think?
I don't want to say. I don't want to say because it's always wrong.
Throw out something.
64-2.
You're a little off there.
It doesn't matter. Hopefully, it gets us a good pounding. So how about 64-10? Let's do that.
Okay, too. I got you.
I'm just gonna.
Creston,
I'm going crazy with it. Did you write it down? I think I found those from last week, and I was like, "What the hell are these that I have written down?"
38, 17.
Still keeping defense under 20, I see.
Yes.
Yes, I
Oh,
agree.
mine capped at 2.
Oh, I know.
I don't want to get to 2. I want 10.
I'm gonna go.
I don't want to get a safety.
I'm gonna go. I'm close to that. I'm gonna go 42-13. I think we score a little bit better.
Somebody's trying to get in the middle of us.
No, I
It's not hard to get in the middle when you're 112 to nothing.
I could see 70s.
You get in the middle of 3 fat guys.
I can see some low 7. I can see some low. I'm sorry, 7. I can see some low 50s. I could see it. I don't think it's hot flow. I don't think it's gonna go into 60s. All right. So, and then let's talk a little bit before we move on.
Only your prodigy has picked Iowa State.
So let's move on a little bit before we move on to some other college as we.
Do you want to do?
Well, no, I want to talk about Texas. I want to preview a little bit about Texas.
Yeah, we just did. I was going to say the upcoming game, Iowa State, but I wanted to go to that Kansas.
So let's talk about we'll talk about Kansas and Texas this week, 16.5, and then I want to segue a little bit into Texas, OU, after we close on that. Kansas, I know, but just a preview, because I want to
preview of your fire chief crying and his
Kansas, Texas. We all picked Kansas to cover. Why do you think that?
I'm thinking that Kansas is not that bad of a team.
I am too, and I'm thinking I've watched Texas play. Didn't they play Rice or something the second game? And it was close until the fourth quarter. Yeah, but it was close to the fourth quarter.
You're right. It was tied,
but Texas hasn't been, without Bijan and Roshan, Texas has not been that mega offense that they had been.
Ewers is carrying the offense.
Ewers is carrying the offense right now.
Now, he's had some problems throwing, a little bit like you say about Gabriel's, the balls that, not necessarily just the deep balls, too. His intermediate stuff's not been so great, too. Now, one thing that I like about Texas, though, is the offense and defensive line. I think they have the best line in the Big 12, both sides.
That they do.
And the offensive line might give enough time, because that's the problem with OU. They need more pressure from that defensive line, because if they give up too much time, those guys in the middle or right on the corners are going to find open spaces. We've seen it for OU with too much time. Quarterback is moving.
He's currently averaging about 33 points a game.
Who's that? I'm sorry.
Texas. Yeah, in the Wyoming game, it was close going into the third or fourth quarter. Also.
Yeah, they get down to that fourth quarter. And
it was 10-10. They scored 2 late touchdowns and then got a turnover that turned into a touchdown. So intercept might have been a pick 6 or something. But hey, listen, Texas is back as far as it comes to Big 12 standings. This year, they were the favorite. I picked them to win the Big 12. I think you all did too. And we either had them, OSU, or Kansas State in the championship.
They got a BYU
It
game.
was one of them three, I think, that we ever picked. But so when you talk about
that week that we're in Kansas, Texas has that BYU game, which will be really interesting.
oh yeah, but see, Texas has got a pretty nice setup schedule too. All their tough games tend to come at home.
Well, not in Texas Tech, because you remember they've already paid the referees.
Yeah, I think that they were talking that that TCU was the last big game after OU.
But the
they
Big
thought
12 commissioners
that
already
they could
paid
lose.
has already paid the refs in the Texas Tech game
Yeah,
too.
probably. So.
Go ahead and take away
But in reality, though,
certain aspects of the game.
In reality, though, Big 12's down. It's way down this year. The teams aren't near as good. And I joke that we had a scenario where two Big 12 teams could make it to the Final Four, which I still think there is, but it's so minute because you would need Georgia.
Well, you
and
need
Michigan.
all the blown up Pac-12.
You'd need a lot of. Well, I
to
think
drop
they're gonna.
as
I
well.
think they're gonna blow up themselves.
I think
that's what I'm gonna
yeah.
talk
They're gonna
about after
implode?
this.
They're
No,
gonna
I think they
implode?
just eat each other alive. I think they're just gonna.
They all play each other, right?
Ones
Yeah.
and ones and ones, and we want to talk about that because we pulled up the schedules. But anyway, as we talk about Kansas, I like the running quarterback. I want to see what he does against Texas's defensive line because even Texas people.
Tell me right now.
No, hold on.
Is it Jaden Daniels or Jalen Daniels?
It's Jaden. No, it's Jaden. I think it's Jaden.
It's Jaden.
Yeah, it's Jaden.
Who's Jalen Daniels?
LSU.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think I got you that last year.
So I want to see if they can throw the ball. The secondary from Texas hasn't been tested a whole lot because the front seven is
Really
just
haven't,
good.
no.
We haven't seen a lot of people throw the ball. Rice did for a little bit, just because you had an experienced
I think
quarterback.
Wyoming would have been their most pass.
Yeah, why? But they didn't. I mean, but it's been more futility on the offense. I thought for Texas's problem than the defense. Defense has looked really good. You said they've averaged, but look what they've held everyone down to.
Alabama's the highest score.
Alabama had 24 points, but that quarterback can't throw very well.
Yep.
But he did move the ball with his legs. Obviously, you've got Daniels going to be able to do that. Let's see if he can throw the ball. If he can get it past the linebackers, you got 10, 15 yards. Let's see what Dallas has or what Texas has because that's going to translate to Dallas for us. OU is going to watch that game probably more than any game to watch Kansas.
Yeah.
And Texas because see if they can come up with anything that they're doing differently.
And I think we might have picked we might have picked Alabama a little too high. I forgot who you had winning the East.
I had
The
LSU.
West.
LSU.
I had LSU.
Because I had LSU in the final.
See, I don't
four.
remember who I had winning that.
I would have had Alabama second.
Yeah.
A&M third, I think. I had A&M high
I didn't
this
have
year.
A&M high.
I had A&M high a little bit.
And that's just it. They lost their quarterback. They lost Wigman.
Yeah, but I still think they're going to be. Is it Arkansas this week? Max Johnson,
Yeah,
Brad
you wanted
Johnson's
me to take
kid.
that game too. And
Brad Johnson's kid's going to be quarterback. He's played quarterback last year. He got
but
hurt.
KJ Jefferson's not that bad of a quarterback.
Yeah, but Arkansas to me just something
Up down.
about.
Up
Yeah,
and down. Well, they lost to BYU. I
are.
think that's their only loss, isn't it?
Bad. BYU
Was it
killed
bad?
Arkansas. It was a pretty bad
I thought it
ending.
was a one touchdown.
Oh no. I think they kicked their ass
I
pretty
could have swore
good.
that was a one touchdown game.
No, I think it was maybe 2 to 3 scores. I could be wrong, but I thought it was like 38-10 or 38-13 or something.
No. That
We'll
was
see.
38-31. Yeah, that was a one-score game.
Then who did Arkansas lose? Then they only have one loss, don't they? See what their schedule is. I thought they had a bad loss to somebody.
You know what it is? It is poop.
No, it's just the one loss. It's not them.
No, they're 2-2. No, LSU was close too.
Yeah, I thought they lost worse than that.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever. I mean, BYU
No,
maybe
it's
is better
close.
than what we thought. I had BYU probably middle, below
That's
Kansas,
what
below Kansas
we
and
talked.
Kansas State.
I don't know what happened to our paper.
Well, we got our picks somewhere. But anyway, no, so
Where are they at?
I don't know.
Where
we flipped the board. Closing on college as far as the Big 12. We'll see what happens. I think we'll get to see
Stupid.
6 o'clock is OU's game. Texas can't.
Texas Kansas
Sorry.
is.
Is that the 2:30 game?
Hold on. I think it is.
Because I know we've got a.
Yeah, I just
Yes,
saw
it's 2:30. Okay,
up there.
perfect. So you're going to get to watch USC.
2:30.
Oh, that's the other thing. How many points does Colorado score on USC? What do you think?
Oh God, probably at the end. Probably
21.
21, 20, 24, right at the
When
end.
you talked about Arizona State earlier, you brought that in because they scored up going into the fourth quarter, 10 minutes left. The score was 26-21 USC. Oh, sorry, 27-21 USC. They were up by
Colorado
6.
scores 34.
34. So you're going a little higher.
I am.
And you think probably USC scores 50s?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It'd be interesting. I mean, I'm kind of intrigued by that game, even though I know it's going to be a lot of slop.
If
And Colorado,
Lincoln
and let's
Riley
be
goes
honest,
to the NFL, does he take Ryan Day with him?
and Colorado is not going to have their best player still with Travis Hunter. What's that?
If Lincoln Riley goes to the NFL, does he take Ryan Day with him?
No. Ryan Day's no.
You think
Ryan
that-
Day's the head coach of Ohio State. Ohio State's top 5.
Oh, not Ryan Day.
Who are you talking about? Oh, Grinch? No. You talking about Alex Grinch?
Yeah, Alex Grinch.
No. No.
You think that love affair is done at that point?
No, I think he's waiting for him to get a head coaching job, and that's over. I mean, nobody's going to hire that guy. That's going to be an interesting end of the year.
Yeah, Alex Grinch has a huge.
That's
job.
why I think that it's easier for Lincoln to leave fast, go to L.A., the Chargers. They're going to pay him $10 million a year. It's probably what he makes already, but he don't have to recruit anymore. Now, does he stay? Who's behind him with Caleb Williams? It's the Malachi Nelson guy, I think is his name. And kind of a Rattler type player.
From what we saw in high school, yeah, very much so.
And you're talking then 8 wins, maybe.
Maybe.
You
see USC
because they're building
you
the
see
defense right
USC
now and recruiting a little bit. They're getting better talent.
You see
but it's because
USC
they're winning.
turn
What happens?
into old USC where they can't win, can't get a coach.
But not Pete Carroll USC. More like
No. I mean, after Lincoln leaves, they turn back into that hire a coach every year, every 2 years because they can't figure out who to
potentially
hire.
because it's a weird job. I mean, so is UCLA.
They're going to go to the Big Ten and they're going to get spanked.
Yes.
Like we talked about, 11 a.m. kickoffs in November 30th, and it's snowing like a son of a bitch, and they're just getting their ass pounded.
And
You
that's-
ain't gonna have a quarterback getting ready to run around on a slick field all day long and throwing these cutesy passes, and the yak is out of this world.
And when I took
need
I
to
took
pull
the
it, Paul
over
Jack.
for when I took the over for Tulsa, it was because Kevin Wilson was a Big Ten head coach, and he learned from that how to play that Big Ten ball.
Well-
so now you've got Big Ten ball being
Well, and
played in the
and-
AAC.
And you look at our offense, and he was here at Oklahoma. He really had a focus on running the ball, smash mouth, O-line.
Big O-line.
He kind of reminds me a lot of Mark Mangino. You know, we had Chuck third and long for a little bit, third and long, and I didn't like that period.
and Paul
because-
Thompson was the only one to
But
pull
I
that
didn't
off.
like that period. But I like the smash mouth, tough nose, offensive line, running back. So where are we at, Sean, on time? Before
We
close?
at 122.
All right, let's move on. OU big. Everyone says OU big, and they should. Texas will be fun. All right, last, I want to talk a little bit about the Pac-12. Pull up the schedule. We've talked about the Pac-12 eating themselves alive. I wanted to talk about that Washington, who is
Oh, it's 28-20.
Penix looks.
BYU's about to score again.
Yeah, Penix looks. I mean, right now he's the Heisman winner, I think. Just overall.
Still got Jordan Travis over that.
Yeah, I don't. But anyway,
Phoenix
so,
hasn't been challenged.
so he has.
But Phoenix's hardest game was Tulsa.
Well, I mean, Boise State, Tulsa, Michigan State. I mean, that's a pretty good
Michigan State had
non-conference.
Tucker.
I
There was no
understand that,
Tucker.
but they didn't plan it
They didn't even
the
with
week
Tucker.
before the game. I'm saying that was a pretty good planned non-conference schedule. California, they won 59-32. Defense gave up a little more than I thought. So here we go.
Oh, don't even bring Cal
Arizona
into that.
off week, and then they go Oregon, easy at USC, Utah, at
you want
Oregon
to talk
State,
about somebody that
Washington State.
almost screwed us over in that Stanford under? I took the Stanford in the under.
I did too.
Yeah.
2.5, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Arizona tried to screw that out of us last
They
week.
win. Is Stanford just one win so far? They
Yeah,
won
there's still
their
one
first
win.
Crescent, pull up the USC. Are you USC or you Oregon?
He says USC. I've
got
got
Oregon.
Oregon's
USC.
there.
Okay, so go ahead.
Obviously Colorado tomorrow,
Yes.
and then they have Arizona, and then they have Notre Dame, Utah.
No. We're now back up at Notre Dame.
Yes,
Okay.
they got Utah at home.
And this is USC, right?
USC.
So they've already had their bye week, if I'm not mistaken, way early. Go back up and see if there's a gap, like after week 2, maybe.
Yeah, the 9th and the 23rd. So there was their bye week.
They really do that?
Yes. Unless they've got another rando one down there.
I don't know. I have to.
But I mean, I saw that too, and I was like, man, that's an early goddamn bye
that's
week.
right. We had 10 teams. We used to take 2 bye weeks.
Yeah, Big 12, yes.
No, they do not have another bye week. They took their bye
See, that
week.
wasn't advantageous to them at all.
Can you stop?
So,
Sorry.
I hide it.
so they have Notre Dame. They have to go to Notre Dame and play. They get Utah at home. They play Cal
That's nothing.
at Cal. I know. And then they get Washington at home.
I say that's going to be.
And then they have to go to Oregon
There it is.
What's the date on that?
November 11th.
Okay.
Wait,
And then they have
I've got it right there.
UCLA to close out the season.
Well.
But I mean, you go Notre
Oregon's
Dame,
gotta have
Notre
a
Dame,
bit.
Utah, Washington, and Oregon, 4 out of 5 weeks.
Well, and I think we talked about this before. Utah has the hardest schedule out of those three.
Yeah. Out of Oregon.
Now, we would have
USC.
included Utah in that before until...
Tonight.
Yeah, I think so, because, I mean, that's one loss.
But they still don't have their starting quarterback. If he comes back, I think
he's
it's
going to have to win them all, because he's already got a conference loss. That's going to bring him down a little bit. But Oregon State could play some
Well, Oregon's
buck it up stuff.
Oregon's got a sweet piece this week. They got Stanford, so that's gonna be. You're gonna see a lot of the backups in.
A lot of rah-rah. And see, and they go
Then
to the bye.
they jump. They go
They
into the
bye.
bye.
Exactly.
And they jump right into the meat of their schedule.
Well, no,
which is-
and that's what's interesting.
they go to Washington. Washington State comes to them. Then they go to Utah. Cal comes to them, but they get USC at home,
Well, if Washington...
and then you end up with
If
Oregon
Washington
State.
beats Arizona, which we figure they should, and Oregon beats Stanford, obviously, that goes to, what is that? That'd be the 7th is the week they're off. Game day will be there because they both have a bye week and they're playing right coming off of
Game day's gonna be where?
Washington.
Did you think? I mean,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, for sure. Mark it down. Slap a label on it.
Well, hold on.
There ain't a
That's-
bigger game. That's 2 top
That's
10
14.
teams. That's 2. Yeah, that's October 4th. Because I'm predicting that OU and Texas will be game day. That will be the primo
They
game.
have to be.
October 7th. There's North
If we
Carolina.
both go in undefeated.
Yes, yeah, and I think we both will.
Yeah.
I do. I think we both will. Just simply because
All right,
we're
I'm just
playing
gonna
a
look at
nobody,
top
and I
25.
think
Nobody wins.
Texas. I don't think Texas is going to cover, but I do think that they're going to win. So
You could see a Syracuse, Florida State.
no, you're not. No.
Would you call me?
I said no, you're
Arkansas, Alabama,
not. Nope. It's okay, Sean.
Auburn, LSU,
No.
Miami, North
That would
Kakalaki,
be an option, maybe, right there.
Raby, maybe Raby,
Maybe.
A&M at Tennessee, Oklahoma State, Kansas.
Possible. Who's A&M lost to? Remind me.
No, right there.
No.
USC,
Not
Notre
a
Dame.
chance. Not a chance.
Why not?
Notre Dame's already got a loss. You got 2 undefeated Pac-12 teams in the top 10.
Top 10. 8 and 9.
They'll be at Washington.
Who's Washington got next week?
It
I didn't look
is
that up.
Arizona State. I got it right here.
Oh.
No. Arizona. Regular Arizona. Yes, regular Arizona.
God, my neck hurts.
So, got a lot of neck issues these days.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
I've got like degenerative neck, so.
Or fat neck is what we call it. But anyway, so moving on.
No, I could do drunken somersaults on a.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, as we leave
You
college.
want to do that?
Hey, as we leave college, give me your Final Four best teams. Not who's going to make the Final Four. Just you look at the Final Four right now, the best teams in college football, who they at. We got Sean.
I still have Florida State as one of the best 4.
Are you ranking them right now, or are you just giving the Final
I'm
Four?
just
and
no.
a
I'm
random?
just. I'm saying.
Okay.
I do have Florida State as
I do
one of
too.
the best because
I
they've
do.
already gone through.
They have the best wins.
Yes, they do.
The
I have them
best quality.
I have
win.
them number 1.
I do too.
Oh, this is where I got to put Ohio State right now.
I also have Ohio State.
I have to. Michigan does not have any quality wins
Does
currently.
Preston have-
Michigan.
Right,
you
No,
said-
Michigan.
you said-
No, I
Michigan's going to beat Ohio State, but
you
but
said-
right
you
now,
said
you
right
said
now.
right
You
now,
said right now.
right now. So I'd have to go Ohio State too because they beat
Oregon.
Notre Dame.
They're number 4 for
I
me.
got
Oregon.
Oregon.
Oh, I have Oregon.
I've got Oregon. They are on a tear, and we all keep
What are they on a tear about?
secretly whispering Dan.
What are they on a
Dan
tear-
Lanning to Alabama.
What's Oregon on a tear about?
Well, they're putting up.
Who
They're putting up.
Who they beat?
Colorado. They beat that big Colorado team. Hey, they were ranked. How high were they ranked? They were ranked number 12 or something.
Okay. I just don't think they're that good.
I'm saying they're a complete team. I've got them there because
Colorado.
they're a complete
I had Oregon
team.
as my 5th.
Who else did I put? I want to say Georgia, but I can't.
I've got Georgia.
Georgia.
I know they've not
you
played
said
anybody
right now,
but they don't
You're
have
saying
to. I
right now.
know, and I think they're the best team. They've killed everybody they played, and
No,
they're
they
number
had-
one.
they had a
They're
tough
number one
game.
for a reason. They have the best defense.
I just
still
go
think,
Georgia then,
yeah.
but yeah,
I had Texas in my other.
I just
four.
really just went through my entire top 5.
I like
top
the
4,
Alabama
except
win.
for just
Alabama's
Ohio
not
State.
great.
Okay, so if you're going, if you go off the wins,
I thought Texas beating Alabama.
Yeah,
is better
Georgia,
than Oregon
Ohio
beating
State,
Colorado.
Texas, and Florida State. That would have to be the top 4.
Yeah, I've got Florida State, Georgia 2, Texas 3, OSU 4.
Yeah,
that'd be mine. Right now,
but I still think Oregon could.
I had Oregon 5th.
Yeah,
I did. I was going to slide them, but I liked Texas's win better, and I really liked Ohio State's win better.
You don't want LSU or Clemson?
They were a little tougher. I would put LSU creeping back up there.
Yes.
Because they lost to Florida State. I think they're number 6, 7. Yeah.
I don't know. Your son's just...
I just totally missed.
He still loves that Penix.
I just missed.
Oh, we haven't done the
Damn,
updated
Clemson.
college Final Four.
No, we haven't. Well, that's kind of what we're doing right now. Not that Final Four. What's going to be there? I just wanted the Final Four right now. All right.
Well,
You got anything
easy.
on that for a minute, Creston? You fished?
I fished.
I don't think he wants to talk about it.
I got 21st place, $750.
What do you got hunting wise? Opening days? What? Coming?
Sunday.
Bow, right?
Bow.
Yeah.
He was in the top... You were in the top 5, weren't you? Top 10?
I was 10th after day 1.
But
Day
with
2.
a pound and a half, I think is what you said.
a
separated.
pound to get to 3rd. I was less than a pound being in 3rd place after day 1.
And then he listened to Thomas, and they didn't.
No, here's the deal. We got to get off of. We were counting on the rain and the cloudiness, putting the fish where we wanted them. It rained overnight, but not as bad as we thought, and it was a bright blue bird sky the next day. Not a cloud in the sky.
It's like that cartoon with the bluebirds chirping. And Creston's like, ah.
Yeah, I knew it was going to suck as soon as the day started.
Is it Bambi that starts out that way, or the
Song of the South?
No, the Snow White and Seven Dwarfs? Is that who the bluebirds come? It's some Disney, yeah.
Yeah, but
that's what it reminds me
Song
of.
of the- remember
But
Song-
you're on the boat flying, your arms
Remember
in,
the
not
Song of the
out.
South was all like
Your shoulder pads on.
and everything.
Laying in the floor.
You should probably wear shoulder pads and a
Where
helmet.
did the rain go?
But seriously, yeah, when the sun started coming up, I mean, we're sitting out there on the water bobbing around, and we're 20 minutes to takeoff, and you look, and there's not a cloud in the sky. I mean, there's just stars, and I'm like, gee. Because we had talked about it on the last pod, that if I could get rain, my better day would be Sunday, and it didn't happen.
No,
Poor Creston.
It was partly cloudy on Saturday, and I think that helped us.
God
Sunday
let it
there
go.
was not a cloud, and no wind whatsoever. It was just glass
so
calm.
you're off fishing this week. You move to fishing next week. Eufaula, right?
Eufaula.
Big tournament. Eufaula, big money.
Yeah, we have a weird thing going on because wife's leaving.
She's going to
fishing.
California.
You're going down to Eufaula. The kids are going somewhere.
Yeah.
We're all supposed to be at your house for the OU game.
That's OU Texas.
OU
yes.
Texas game.
Yeah,
11
I won't
a.m.
get to
Is
watch
that a big
one.
noon?
Yes, 11.
So
Yeah.
11.
I have to listen to it on the boat. I'm fishing for too much money not to fish. I'm sorry.
So
OU's
you
gonna
play
win
that?
it.
You play
OU's gonna
that?
win or lose. Yeah.
So you just play it. Didn't? Oh, gotcha.
I'd go with you, but I have to make fun of Craig
Exactly.
and his losing. There might be a new T-shirt coming of a man and a mustache.
Only if we win. Only if we win. That's the whole key.
Oh no, it might be coming no matter what.
So, as we get ready to leave, BYU's killing Cincinnati.
It's not. It's 15 points. 11 and a half to go in,
And they give
in the
up 20
fourth.
to us. Of course, it is.
And they
home.
seem to just be able to move the ball. Oh! What the hell happened there?
I don't know.
That was crazy.
change of field. Who knows? What was the
It's a
final
t-
on the Utah? 7 to
I don't want to
21?
look at it. It was too
Down
hard.
just a little bit, 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Vegas had that right too. And I really thought,
NC State also lost to
hey,
Louisville.
good win for Louisville.
And Kenny
5-0.
said Louisville quietly sneaking in
They're not
the
ranked yet.
ACC.
New quarterback, new coach. He left Purdue.
That's Brom.
Jeff Brom is now at his alma mater.
La Tech, UTEP. Nobody cares.
And that's Jake Plummer's boy that plays quarterback at Louisville.
Yeah. Jake
The
Plummer. Jake
gunslinger.
Plummer.
What? Anything else?
No, it's let's just go that Zach was the only one that took Iowa State. He hates the family. We're pretty much all split on the Duke Notre Dame.
We didn't talk about that. Obviously I took Notre Dame. A lot of you guys in the books.
He took Notre Dame. Des to Hunter.
Duke is interesting because I like their quarterback a lot, and their defense looks pretty good. If they can win this game, that they potentially could win the ACC.
Mm-hmm. They got Florida State. They have to
go in there and look on that last tab.
Oh, do you want to talk about the
spreadsheet?
wins last week for the three of us?
Oh yeah, mention that, our picks last week.
Kenny's picks last week 6-4, mine 6-4, Sean's is 4-6.
I think we did that at the beginning already. I don't think we have to rub it in.
Oh, do we not? I didn't think we did. No,
I didn't think we done that.
We talked about it at
You
the
did.
beginning.
No, you did.
4-6 though. Sean went 4-6.
Oh, I'm sorry. You've been 4-6 like twice. Go to the last tab on that. It
Week
says,
totals.
Week totals. Go to the very last tab at the bottom.
Okay.
It should show you
Week totals.
it should show you complete totals.
Yeah, outcome.
And it should say who's in the lead right now.
So
On your far right.
4 weeks in.
Yep.
About 4 weeks in.
Currently.
Yes. I am 21-19. Creston 19-21.
Right.
Sean is 20-20. Zach 25-15. Stinger. Which
Well, he got lucky with
he
that
has
cute
claimed
time.
he is leading and will win.
He
it
got
all.
lucky with that cute
Destiny
time
is
bullshit of South
16-24.
Alabama.
Hannah's 15-25, and Hunter has a winning record, which is impressive because Sean does not. Anywho.
What do you mean? I do have a win.
Oh, I'm sorry. Creston does not.
I
You're
do not.
19-21.
I'm 19-21.
Hey,
But
that's-
the complete standings of who's winning currently is right here on that side.
yeah, 21-19.
No, the people's names.
Zach, Hunter, Kenny, which is tied.
Yeah.
Hunter and Kenny's tied. And then Sean is a dip below. Creston's a dip below. And then it just goes to shit after that. So.
Well, that's what happens when you pick the Dallas
anyway,
Cowboys every game.
But Hannah, big comeback for her. She's already 3-0 this week. So good for her. Hey, listen, football, as the spreads start to shrink.
Miami was the most popular game we took in the spread.
I didn't take Miami, did I?
Yeah, that's a.
No, you and Hunter were the
Do
only
you find
two
that
did
ironic, though, that as we close out.
I did it to be an ass.
I know you
to
did.
you.
Well, I had to because I run in my mouth. But it is ironic that is the best game, and most of us picked that, and they picked the Dolphins. Everyone's kind of shitting on the Bills right now, and they've looked good since their opening week loss. And that loss,
Phillies can play in Washington.
that loss was a fluke. That first game, everything went wrong. We've seen it now. Is OU Cincinnati, as we look at Cincinnati getting beat by 15 points and getting ready to get scored, was that our game we fluked on, you think? Do you hope?
I would hope so. I would hope that's
You
our
would have
fluke
to
game.
hope.
God,
Because there's always one, and maybe we won it. I don't know. Maybe they took it for granted.
If you look at all the cute plays,
because Iowa State is not, to me, a team that we're going to sit there and take for granted. I really don't think so. I don't think it's going to be high scoring. We went a little higher, but, I mean, I think defense is going to play well.
Kendall Slovis, just stop.
And
Stop, Kendall
and they just
Slovis.
keep driving. But no,
Stop being a
We
better
play-
quarterback.
Do we play BYU this year? We do, don't
yeah,
we?
We do.
At BYU. That's later down
We
the
go
road.
into the Mormons.
Later down the road. And that's probably...
Provo.
We go there and we go to TCU, I think.
I don't care.
And that's the last.
We'll
Those are
find
the
that
hard
out next
games.
week.
Beat Texas. Be good to go.
So, are we done?
Yeah.
Is that going to be our
See y'all
sign
next
off?
week.
Yeah.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
See
Hopefully
you guys.
the prodigal son will be back and not passed out. All right, it's
Hold
on.
on, shit.
Nope, don't say shit. You gotta go. I'll turn it on.
Rushers and getting star receivers. Now, you're not going to get T.J. Watt, but the truth is, these are the kind of decisions a GM has to sleep on. Only one way to keep your seven-figure job in the NFL. Win games. Only one way to win games. Star quarterbacks. I would say this. If I'm Pittsburgh, I would give up Watt, 3 firsts, and Pickens for Caleb Williams. I would. Pittsburgh has a history of getting edge rushers and getting star receivers. Now, you're not going to get T.J. Watt, but the truth is, these are the
Why
kind of
does he
decisions
love
the
Caleb
GM
so
has to
much?
sleep on. Only one way to keep your seven-figure job in
He's
the
in
NFL.
California.
Win
He has to.
games.
It's horrible.